Next, guys, will in this session, another session of Model 5 Part 2, we'll be discussing another very important part. One question is fixed on this system recovery and simple call through. Okay, a simple call through a typical DSS. So, guys, hope you already know about these points. Okay, you'll be knowing about all these points already. So, the basic steps required to complete a simple call are as follows: detect off hook condition. So call request initialization here. Okay, identify customers lines. Okay, to identify the customers line, whether it is operating properly or not, line fault is there or not. So that's why we'll go for testing the customer line. Provide dial tone to customer. So customer will get the dial tone. Provide digits analysis of dial number. Will authenticate both the source and destination numbers. Verify it. Then we'll go for establishing the path between them. Then ring called the customer only when the path and called customers are free. Then detect answer and establish cut through path. So we'll send a small AC current through sleeve line of the that 3-wire line until we'll identify that either one of them will stop talking. Then we'll disconnect the supervisory operation, that disconnect the call, established call. Then detect on hook condition and disconnect here. Okay, so these steps are the important steps. Already we seen it in the connect and disconnect parts of the call model, or starting from the beginning supervisory operation. So let us see, there are different varieties are there. We'll see one by one here. So the first one here is line to line intra IC call. Okay, the first one is line to line intra IC call, intra interface controller call. So here you can see in the diagram, a very simple block diagram is there. Two customers are there, A and B. Customer A is connected through separate line module to IC. Customer B is connected through separate line module to same IC, same interface controller. Means both the customers but with different line modules but connected to the same interface controller. Of course, they are sharing different line module, but they are sharing, of course, they have different line models but sharing the same interface controller. So that's why it is known as intra IC. Line to line, both lines are different but intra IC, because interface controller is shared between the two different customers. So that's why it is known as line to line intra IC call. So there are some steps I made here how to establish the call here. So that we'll see one by one. So here you can see customer, assume that customer A calls. Assume that customer A is making call request. Okay, and customer B within the same IC is going to receive the call. Okay, he is a calling person, he is a called person. In step 1, when customer A goes off hook, means he will pick up the handset to call the customer. The call origination request is detected by the LM. So he goes off hook. Okay, he goes off hook, and the moment when when customer A goes off hook to call customer B, call origination request is detected by its corresponding LM line model. It sends a message to the IC, which in turn sends message to the NCB, that is second level, and validates customer A's line, because that data corresponding to the subscriber A will be kept in the second level, that is with the NCP. So by looking to that table kept in the database of NCP, that second level, the call origination request done by A will be authenticated and verified. Okay, and also in IC, before doing this, it will check whether this call origination request is genuine or not by checking the line terminating equipment in the line module to test whether it is occurring due to line fault or not. If it is not occurring due to line fault, line terminating equipment is properly working, line module it has done the test properly, then it will send request signal to IC to verify the calling customer here. In step 2, IC attaches digits receiver to the line and provides dial tone to customer. In step 2, interface controller will attach digit receiver to the line module. Okay, it will receive the digits of destination number and provides the dial tone to customer A. Now customer A will start getting the dial tone. In step 3, after the customer dials the first digit, in customer A dials the first digit, the LM removes the dial tone, because we have seen that the moment only start dialing the number, we will stop getting or listening the dial tone from the customer A's receiver, and dial digits are then collected and sent to the CP for digit analysis. So after verifying the call origination request whether it is genuine or not, after verifying the customer by looking into the database kept to the NCP, the digit receiving task will be done. So once the digits are all received, all digits will be verified by the digit analysis code kept in the CP. That is the third step. In the fourth step, if the dial number is valid, CP will tell that the dial number is okay, it is correct. The NCP assigns time slots for the call connection path between A and B. Here customer or means B, means receiver. So after when the dial number is found valid by CP, then signal will be sent to the second level NCP, which is going to assign time slots for the call connection between A and B. If the dial number is incorrect, for example having a wrong prefix like STD or ISD code, or is it a partial dial number like 9 digits instead of 10 digits if you dialed, an announcement or a tone is given to customer A telling that you dialed a wrong number or number does not exist, something like that. If it is correct, then NCP assigns the time slots. Okay. Then step number 5, you can see here, customer B's line is checked for busy or idle status by sending a small amount of AC current to that sleeve line. You have to include all these things here. It may be not shown here, but by experience I am telling, and I insist you to write all those things. So how it is checking busy or idle status? By sending a small amount of AC current, and a power ringing is applied to customer B's line. So an audible ringing is simultaneously applied to customer A's line. So both are listening here. Okay. In step 6, you can see when customer B answers, a cut through path through the switching fabric is provided. We have previously assigned time slots. Previously assigned time slots means shortest path is found. If it is not found, then it will update by finding the new path through the switching fabric, means new time slots will be updated. Means the first leg of call, means first stage of call establishment is call from A uses T switch of the IC. Call origination request is taken as a T switch, means with the help of this switching, A is connected to CO. Okay. The second stage is S switch through the switching fabric, which has been used to find out the shortest path between A and B. And third stage is B is connected through the T switch. Means it is acting like because switching fabric is acting like a space switch, and two customers which are connecting one after the other to the common office through time switch. Time slots are allotted, no, that is time switch. They are acting like a time switch. Means TST, it is acting like a TST switch here. This is how you have to explain. Okay. Means the call is established with help of TST switching network here. In step 7, if either customer disconnects, how will identify it? You have to explain here. It is not told here. The moment when call is established, at the same time, the operator has sent a small amount of AC current again to the sleeve line to identify when one or both of them will stop talking. When they will stop, either one of them will stop or both of them will stop talking, our operator will come to know that the conversation is over. He will disconnect. He will remove all these TST switching connections. The LM rates the on hook condition and idles the connection. This is call termination process. So guys, these are the 7 fundamental steps which I quoted here very much briefly to let you to understand superficially in an easy way for your level. Okay. And in the middle, whatever I told, checking the BGR status or checking the customer disconnect, when they are going to be disconnected, all these things you have to elaborate here, which has not written here, but I told here by orally. Okay, you have to explain here. So this how you have to explain line to line intra IC call. First, you have to explain the figure. There only you should tell that what you mean by the concept of line to line intra IC. Then you go on explaining all these 7 steps. Understood? So next we'll go for line to trunk intra IC OGT call. Line to trunk interface controller outgoing trunk call. Outgoing trunk OGT means outgoing trunk call. Let us see what is the connection here. Here two customers are there. Customer A as usual who is going to make the call request here, connected to the interface controller with a separate line model. Now second customer is through this, something like a good example of STD. Is dialing STD whose destination customer is in different district, different region. Here we will get the trunk model, but both are connected to the same IC. That's what is known as a line to line intra IC but outgoing trunk. It is a STD call, outgoing trunk call. Okay. Hope guys again the steps will be remaining same here. Okay. I will elaborate here. For two cases, remaining two cases you have to do at your own, which are going to be similar to these first line to line intra IC and line to trunk intra IC OGT call. Okay. So in step 1, again when customer A is assume that he is want to do the call request, goes off hook to call customer B, and by doing that whatever the small amount of AC current which was flowing will stop, and the line module or IC will come to know that customer A wants to make a call request. During that process, line module will check whether this call request is happening due to line fault or a genuine one. After doing that one, it sends message to IC, in turn sends message to NCP and validates the customer A's line. This will be done. Then IC attaches digits receiver to the line module and provides dial tone to customer A. So it will receive the digits, again they will be sent through IC to the CP to analyze the digits, then dial tone will be sent to customer A. Okay. So in steps 2, after the customer A dials the first digit, the LM removes the dial tone from the customer A's receiver. This is important. The dial digits are then collected and sent to CP for digit. That's all, just I explained. In step 3, again if the dial number is valid, NCP assigns a time slot, that is the time switching, letting the customer A connected to the CO. If not, again announcement tone will be sent to customer A. Then if everything is correct, customer B's line is checked for busy or idle status. I once again by sending small amount of AC current to the sleeve line, and power ringing is applied to customer B's line. And audible ringing is simultaneously applied to customer A's line. Okay. In step 5, when customer B answers, a clear call path is established through switching fabric provided previously by assigned time slots. Switching fabric is a path it is providing, that is space switching. Time slots both A and B is provided by the CP or NCPs or ICs, which are acting like a TST. As in line to line calls, each CO uses TST connection here. Step 6, if either customer disconnects, how will identify it? We can once again tell the LM of either CO detects the on hook condition. LM will identify either one of them have stopped the conversation or not, that by sending small amount of AC current to both the customers when the connection was established. Then call supervision is provided by the originating CO. So this way guys, you have to explain each one of them. Normally you will get a short note on each one of them or one only. Depending on the marks, you have to explain. Line to line intra IC or line to line intra IC OGT call. So next we will get line to line inter IC call here. Okay. So here you can see the some structural differences there in the block diagram compared to the previous two. Okay, listen here carefully. This is line to line inter IC, not intra, it is inter IC. Once again we will assume that customer A is want to do the call request and customer B is the destination number. Okay. So here customer A is connected to separate interface controller, that is ICX, through LAN module, separate LAN module. And customer B is also connected through separate LAN module and separate interface controller, that is ICY. But both are sharing the same switching fabric. That's why it is known as inter IC, because both are sharing different interface controllers. Okay. So the coordination between NCPs is provided by CP. That is NCPX and ICX, NCPI and ICY. So this is same as line-to-line inter-IC call, except the path through ICX and ICY is established for the call. Okay. So if you want, I'll just orally explain here. You listen here carefully. The steps are not shown here. Call A want to make call request. We will go off hook, and so we will put up the handset. The moment when you put up the handset, the current which was flowing will stop, and LAN module will come to know that A wants to make a call request. Okay. Then customer A will be here once again. Customer A is making a call request, is genuine or not, again is also checked in line module by checking the line fault. After checking the call origination request by A is genuine, LM will contact ICX. Okay, LM will contact ICX to authenticate or to verify the customer A by looking into the table kept with the NCP, that is at level 2. After verifying customer A, the digit receiver circuit will be attached by ICX to the line module concerned to customer A to receive the digits. Okay. Once all the digits are received, they will be collected and transmitted by ICX through NCP to CP to analyze the received digits. If received digits are valid, then next step is to find out the shortest path between the switching to these two parts. Okay, they will go for next call establishment. Otherwise, warning tone will be sent to customer, whether it may be a wrong number or whatever. Okay. Next, after receiving the digits, destination number customer is checked whether it is free or busy. Okay. Next step. Okay. Until now, what you have seen, we have received the digits, both source and destination, and verified them as valid. Now both the numbers are valid, source and destination number. And now we'll have to find the shortest path. If it is a new number, we'll have to search the shortest path. Otherwise, if it is old number, already established path will be there in the database kept in the NCP level 2. It will be taken into consideration. Now next we'll go for establishing the path between A and B. For that, we have to check the line path to customer B and customer B, both should be free. For that, again, operator, a supervisory program, will send small amount of AC current to customer B. Customer B will get the ringing signal and A will also get the ringing signal. Okay, if customer B is found to be free, then cut through path will be established. Okay, cut through path will be established through different interface controllers, that is inter-IC call. So the moment when call is established, again supervisor program will be sending small amount of AC current to both the directions, source and destination, to identify when either one of them will stop talking. If one of them will stop talking, then call will be disconnected. Understood? Hope guys you are getting this idea. Only thing, these blocks are getting to be different here. That you should be careful when you can use them, how you can use them in explaining the answer. Otherwise, all those 7 steps will be remaining same. Okay. Next, we go for line to trunk inter-IC. Line to trunk inter-IC. Only thing here, they are making STD once again, but with the different interface controllers. Customer A again calls customer B, who is located in another CO, and different IC is selected. So this is the same as line to trunk intra-IC OGT call, except a path through ICX and ICY is established, call connection path. The coordination between associated NCPs is provided by the CPU. So hope guys you understood how we can explain. Three cases are explained here in detail. So the fourth one, hope you can do it by yourself. If there are any queries, you can tell me. Okay. So this is a very important part we have covered: system recovery and these different call through, simple call through modules: line to line intra IC, line to trunk intra IC OGT call, line to line inter IC, line to trunk inter IC OGT call, like that. Okay. So another one, this one we left here. This is quite different here, and this is also very important part: trunk to line inter IC IGT call. Try to understand here: trunk to line intra IC IGT call. Here customer is called by B. Okay, incoming call. It is something like incoming call here. We are explaining. We are getting the incoming call here through a trunk. Okay. Here it has been written customer A is called and by customer B, who is served by another central office. An incoming trunk selected lies in the same IC. So for your understanding purpose, I have written the steps here. Step 1, common office for shall we take it in the next session? Okay, we'll stop and refresh and start in the next session.